Good morning. At least it's morning where I am. Welcome back to the PAFA wire wrapping channel. And I'm happy to say that spring has sprung here in Maryland, and I'm going to be able to show you how to do oxidizing on pieces, especially with a weave, because it looks great on a weave. This is copper wire, it's raw, and it's shiny right now, but I'm going to oxidize it, which hopefully will show you some incredible depth in the weave. So the first thing you have to know how to do here is safety. Oh, and excuse me, I apologize to all those who are suffering through a snowstorm right now, because I know that even though spring has officially sprung today, in Maryland, it seems to be that winter's holding on out west. So I hope you all are doing well and staying safe, and hopefully staying indoors where you have time to watch this. Okay, so safety first when it comes to doing liver of sulfur. This is really just to make sure that if something were to splash, it doesn't go into your eye. Liver of sulfur fumes, and the actual gel is toxic, so be very, very careful using it. You want to use gloves for your hands to keep it off your skin, and especially a mask so you're not breathing in those fumes. Liver of sulfur is not only toxic, but it smells to high heaven. It stinks. It's like rotten eggs. I keep it in a plastic thing here. As you can see, there are some drops of it in there. So even though you keep it sealed, after you use it, some drops can leak out. So just keep it enclosed if it's in your house. So in addition to the safety items, paper towels are good to keep your wet items on and to protect your table. After you do the liver of sulfur, you want to polish it. Now you can use steel wool, which is very fine. This is, I think it's 00, or you can use polishing pads, which you can get on Amazon, and they have an abrasive in them that helps to sort of shine it up. But I find both of these to be very ineffective in the little nooks and crannies. And I did use a regular Dremel, but I'm now using one called Ryobi, and it is battery operated, so you can just take it anywhere when you're outside. If you don't have an outlet, it's great. It is more expensive than a typical handheld Dremel. But because I have, as you can see, some thumb issues, the regular Dremel is very hard on the fingers, and I'll show you both of those in a few minutes. If you want to make cords with the same wire end, that's oxidized, just like your piece, make sure you oxidize a piece of wire that you would use for your cords. Also, if you think you have a very sensitive accent bead and you want to use it, but you're worried about putting it through the liver of sulfur, just oxidize your piece of half round or your weaving wire that you'll be using as well. Now I'm using a labradorite, which is very hard, and it's great with being oxidized, but there are some stones, especially, I don't know, talc and pearl and things like that, you want to research before you oxidize with your stone in. If you can take the stone out and then put it back in after you oxidize, that's great. Sometimes that's really difficult, so be sure that the stone you're going to be putting into that dip with the wire is going to come out unscathed. Okay, so have a plastic or a wooden fork, because metal will tarnish. You don't want to ruin your forks. And then a couple of plastic containers. One is going to be for hot water, and then putting like a drop of the liver of sulfur in, and then immediately dropping in. Well, let me go back. After you put the drop in, stir with the fork and make sure you have a uniform color. It should be like amber. So for something like this, I'm not going to fill the water more than maybe half to 3/4 little amount. So one drop may do it. Usually 2 or 3 drops could do it. Sorry if you hear noise in the background. That's my cats trying to play with each other. The other one is for just water, and I don't know if the temperature matters. I usually use the same temperature. And then you're going to put some baking soda. I usually just eyeball it, but they say putting a tablespoon is good. So it's up to you. I've never had any issues with just eyeballing how much of that to use. And I think the cats are about to fight, so I'm about to finish up here. I will show you the 2 different Dremels, and then we will move outside and I'll show you the process. The process really only takes a couple of minutes. The harder part is the polishing, which is what I use the Dremel for. And it's just that the preparation's important, the safety, and having everything ready to go, because you want your water for the liver of sulfur to stay really, really hot when you dip your piece in. So don't delay. Once you've put that hot water in, and you just take your water outside, take your baking soda outside, pour your baking soda in after you've dropped that in there or whatever. It's a fast process. Just be sure your water's nice and hot. Okay, so I'll be back. Okay, I'm back for a second before I go outside. Just want to show you the two different options. So this is your brand name Dremel, and this is what I used to use. And it's very thin and easy to use. If you don't have any thumb problems, it's great. But this is the power button. This one is you have to use a little tool, which, let me find that. Okay, like magic, here's the little tool. So this works on either one. You basically put it where the flat sides are, and then you have to hold in that black button, and it makes it move, and then you can, it makes it tight, and then you can undo it, and then if you need to change the head out. Let's see if I can do this with my right hand, because I'm left-handed. Sorry. So there you go. And then to put it back in, you tighten it up, and you'll feel the button go in, and when it does that, it's tight, and actually, well, you still need to hold the button in to tighten it up. So anyway, that's how you put it in and out on either one of those Dremels. This one is called a Ryobi. It's not the Dremel brand. It comes with a detachable, rechargeable battery, and I know it's more expensive than the Dremel, so you can use the Dremel if you don't have any thumb problems, but it's also not battery operated like this one. So this one you have to plug it in, and so if you don't have an outdoor outlet, it's better to get this one. This one's easier to turn on. All you do is that. Whoops. Shouldn't turn it on there. And this one you have to push the button in, which isn't a big deal for this, and it has an adjustable dial for speed that's under the cord here somewhere. And this has a dial here. Okay, so now we are off to oxidize. Okay, I am outside. I hope you can hear me. I've put on my safety equipment, and I am taking out my liver of sulfur. Okay, now I'm only going to put in like 1 drop, and you can see there's still some stuff there, so put it in that plastic bag. You're going to get some on your glove probably, so wipe that off. And once you've done that with your hot water, stir it around, not too violently, you don't want it splashing. And you see it's got nice amber color. Then you want to put your baking soda into the other one, just like I said. I don't know if you can see that. And stir that around. That is your neutralizing base. So you take your piece and you just drop it in there. Do the same thing with the wires if you want to do the wires. I don't know if I need them, but I'm doing them anyway. And make sure they're all completely down into the solution. Now, as you can see, they're darkening up very, very quickly. So, these look good. I'm going to take that out, and I don't want it to get completely black, so there you go. It was very, very quick. Once you've done that, put this lid back on, seal it tight, and I just leave it outside until this becomes a color of water again. Then it's safe to dump it wherever you want. The baking soda solution should be safe regardless, but okay. Now, see how quick that was? That was amazingly quick. Okay. Why did I put this lid on here anyway? Okay, so if that's been in there for a minute, making sure you stop the oxidization process, stir it around, then you're going to take it out. The wires, oops, things are going to start blowing away. It's not actually as warm out here as I thought it would be. So you take the wires out, and then you can just wipe those down with a polishing pad, which I will take out of here. You don't have to do much, just like give it a, actually I'm going to dry it off first. polishing pad does not work as well if the wire's not dry. But anyway, as you can see, it takes off some of that, and it just leaves a nice darker color. It's not as shiny as it was, it's just a darker color. And then do the same thing with the other. Okay, now to take this piece out and see how dark it became. So that, I'm going to wipe that off, dry it off. And you can rinse it too, you know, if you want to rinse off the baking soda solution before you do this, but I tend to cut corners. Okay, so now, because it's really dark, I'm going to take my Dremel thingy. I'm going to turn that on. I hope you can see me. It's very bright out here. I hope I'm in focus. But see if you do this, and it doesn't hurt the wire unless you have a loose wire, because it will grab a loose wire. But if you don't have any loose wires, it should be fine. But see how that turns out easily? And just do it all over. And if you have any tiny scratches, it will take those out for you if you do it enough. I have it at like, I don't know, let's see, I have it up around 15 on the Oibo if you wanted to know that. Just go all the way around. And it is hard to get, you can't get in there, but I'll show you what I do with that. Be careful it doesn't grab the edge of your glove too. I've had that happen. I hope you can hear me over this. Just get it nice and polished up where you want it. It's a bit harder to get into the ridges there. It almost got my glove there. Okay, so that now has a lot of depth on there. It's not as shiny. And then if you want to finish it up further, make it a little bit prettier, get your polishing pad and do that. Now, if you want to get that lighter, some people don't care. What I do is I just rip my polishing pad. Oh, that one didn't work quite right. Rip it lengthwise, fold it over until it's very small, and then I stick it through if I can. Might be too big. Try to push it through. You can grab it and then kind of hold on to both ends and just, you know, bend it around and try to clean it up a little, and you'll see you get a lot of that dirt there. So it's a little bit dark because of the green beads I put on here, so you have to factor that in when you add your beads and accents and your stones. If you want some contrast between the wire and the stones so that people can see it, so you want to try to get in there if you have wires and just try and make them a little bit shinier so it stands out. So there we go. Now you can really see it. Okay. All right, so that is all there is to it. Just make sure that you secure your liver of sulfur container so that fumes aren't escaping. I think that does it. So thanks for watching, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave them. I'd love to hear you, and please like and subscribe. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Bye.